Welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. I am Jason. I'm joined by my cohort in this journey of Nintendo love, Mr. Donnie Reese.
Greetings, Koopalings.
I don't want to take away from the greetings, Koopalinks. I need to have something as powerful, but it's hard. I have got a lot to live up to, Donnie. You've made it hard for everyone at PSVG with your epic tagline.
Okay. Just stealing other people's stuff.
True.
I'm resurrecting a classic, right? I'm trying to carry on the flag from those that came before us, Jason.
Well, I can appreciate that. You know.
I miss you, Audrey and Rich. We need you guys back. Why doesn't Nintendo have them do a podcast, by the way?
Just
why can't they be like the Sid Schumann of Nintendo? Why they got the Kate and whoever do the YouTube? That's boring. So
I would like to see you'd like to see some sort of more Nintendo backed podcast or something. But I feel like they'd have such a tight, grip on everything.
sure.
Especially look what happened this week. Not to go into too much news, but we had an incident where some influencer, someone had a copy of the Mario and Luigi, whatever, was it Superstar Saga?
Saga.
Yeah,
Somebody got it early.
I was listening to Nintendo Dads, and they're talking about it too, and they're like, if all the games you choose to do it, you do it with a port of a GBA game,
So it was interesting, if I remember the story correct, because this came out a few days ago.
Yeah.
They dumped the ROM?
Yeah, they dumped the whole thing online.
Why?
I don't know. So you can get that popularity. Just like, when Josh Thomas did those hacks of the fakes of the Smash Bros stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's coming."
Is there like a big market for a free copy of Mario Luigi Superstar Saga that you have to go and hack and figure out how to play and all that?
I wouldn't think so. It's not my cup of tea. So I don't know. I don't know, Donnie. I mean, if you're gonna do that, make it be like Odyssey or something, But now this dude's gonna, you're gonna go through court proceedings, and you're really hurting everyone else, because now anyone else that it would be in a position to maybe get your smaller outlets to be in a position to obtain something like that. Nintendo of America is gonna be like, nah, we've been burned. So now we're, they're tightening down across the board on their streaming on their, I think it was video, audio. I mean, pretty much anyone that, your smaller outlets that would have a chance of getting review copies and stuff. They're just gonna be like, well, we can't trust you guys.
So that's the story, right? Like, that is the headline. Nintendo cracking down on review copies. I mean, this is like the chicken and the egg thing. I feel like we've talked about this maybe before with other. I mean, I definitely think we talked about this with Bethesda when they said the same thing. Yeah. So I'm one of two minds. Like, obviously, I read reviews. I read reviews for games. Like, I read all the reviews for Fire Emblem. I like reviews. I don't think everybody deserves to have a review. Just because you stand up a website or do a YouTube video.
I know where you're going with this.
Right? It's like bit. It's because you hear from a lot of folks, they're like, well, if you're going to let IGN review a game, then we all should be. It's like, no, not at all. Like, IGN is a huge.
Well, was there, speaking of Fire Emblem, wasn't there instances that someone reviewed Fire Emblem, made it perfectly clear they didn't like this type of game, and then they gave it like a horribly low score?
Mm-hmm.
And I get why you might. I can see kind of sides of the coin where it's like, oh, I'm going to give this a horribly low score, and everyone's going to be like, well, why'd they hate it? I'm going to go to their site, and it draws traffic. But at the same time, if
they gave it a 40.
I'm the type of gamer that I am, where I see a low score and I see you come out and just say, I don't like these type of games, so that's why I gave it this. Why would I ever want to go to you as a source for anything ever again? Because in my book, you have no credibility. You're a terrible outlet, because you can't come in with that type of bias on things. I don't think that's.
I kind of feel like, in a lot of ways, if Nintendo, and anybody, it's not just Nintendo, but I mean, this is the Nintendo Shack, so we're going to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, I should probably say that. Welcome back to the Nintendo Shack.
I was going to say, this is a terrible intro.
We got right into it. We got passion. We're just like, this is Nintendo Shack, courtesy of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Our second episode.
Mm-hmm.
You guys haven't scared us off the internet. We've done it twice now.
No, everybody liked it. Everybody likes it. They like the
That's
logo.
right.
They like the tweets. They like the podcast.
Like tweets. They're like,
I mean,
finally,
who doesn't want more Jason and Donnie and Nintendo?
PSVG gave us a Nintendo focused show all the time with Donnie and Jason. I mean, look at I got my haircut today. The beard, the epic beard is gone. I'm cleaning up for people here. You know,
it's nice. You look clean. You look sharp. But back on point.
It's been a while. Yes. So back to crappy reviewers. And
I feel like Nintendo should go the way of Bethesda. Let the big companies have their review copies because review copies are important.
Yeah.
Give it to folks that have the staff and the time to dedicate to doing it well. You don't have to give it to everybody. You know, it's like, I mean, I feel bad. Like, does Nintendo Life need a day and date review? Like, can they hang back a week? Like, can Nintendo Dads hang back a week? These are sites that I go to, so I'm just throwing names out there. Like, can PSVG be
God, I would
14 days behind on a Golf Story review? Like, is it the end of the world?
Right? Can you imagine though? Like, let's say one day all of a sudden, like, let's say a week before release, Nintendo's like, here's a copy of Mario Odyssey. That would suck.
Yeah,
because I don't. If you're not like someone in our position, we're not 100% dedicated to this. So you would be trying, like any of your free time you had, you would be trying to get through this game to try to do it justice, to get the review out, to show you're dedicated, to get more, to increase that partnership. But no, thank you. No, thank you.
Imagine Breath of the Wild. Here's the Breath of the Wild. You have 4 days. 4 days. Count it up. Yeah, I mean, so your review would ultimately be skewed because you're not enjoying the game the way you should be.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I also think there's something to be said about reviewing a game that you paid for versus not reviewing a game that you paid for. I mean, I know people say, I don't let it bother me, but I feel like even unconsciously, there's always something there to be said about, I spent my money on this game. Now I'm going to give you how I feel now that I got some skin in the game. Versus, I get all the games for free, so I like this one more than the other one. You know, there's just like a little validity there. Not saying that everything's wrong, but I think there's something to that.
I get that.
The Fire Emblem reviews were pretty good. A lot of, 7 and 8s. We had that outlying 40 that was odd and weird. I didn't even think we were going to get into this, but I'd like to because this came up in the Discord chat. So Kyle is one of those that's excited or not excited. He was looking into purchasing this game and he types into the Discord chat, playsomevideogames.com Discord banner, click it. And he goes, Donnie, seeing some of these reviews, they're not so hot for Fire Emblem Warriors. And I go, okay, I haven't seen them yet. I was busy. I hadn't looked yet. And I was like, I got to start reading them. So I get home, I go and pull up my 11 sites that I constantly check and I read through all of them. And I watch Game Explain and Nintendo Dads and like all of the ones that I go to. And I got the sense from a few of them, not all of them, but a few of them, two things that I did not really care for. First thing, a lot of them going, well, it's basically Hyrule Warriors, but it's not as good because it doesn't have Link. And it's like, okay, well, Link, one, I've got a couple things wrong with that. Like one, yes, Link and Zelda is a better, bigger brand than Fire Emblem. That's not Fire Emblem's fault.
No. That is
the second issue that I have with that is most of these folks weren't so super high on Hyrule Warriors. For somebody that felt like I was screaming from a mountaintop about that game and didn't find a whole lot of support, there weren't a whole lot of folks that were loving Hyrule Warriors. So I'm excited to see that maybe it's kind of grown on people with some time because everybody kept referring back to Hyrule Warriors like it was incredible. And I
noticed that too.
Did you? And you go to their website and look at their old review and it's like, Hyrule Warriors is okay, it's not amazing, 7.5. And then you see like Fire Emblem Warriors and they're like, it's good, it's an 8, but it's not as good as Hyrule Warriors. Like no. So there were some of that I didn't, I took issue with it. Not saying they're right or wrong. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I don't know.
Right.
But saying things like that, I latch on to something like that. I'm like, well, that's not really, you're not really judging the game. But there are some faults that have been said that I've read that make it sound like the game will have some issues, that I might have some issues with it, but I'm still excited to play it. So I'll be doing that tomorrow and Saturday, and I'll be streaming. I'm going to try to beat the campaign this weekend.
I think you can do it. If you don't, I think I'm going to do it. Destiny.
Yeah, Destiny's good. The Destiny grind's fun, but I can put it on hold for a weekend so I can do this campaign.
All right. Well, there you go. Look for Donnie's impressions, I'm sure, at playsomevideogames.com, as well as Are you going to be doing a review? Or are you going to do like a review cast, or how are
I'm
you guys going
hoping
to
to
tackle
do a
that?
review cast. I think I
Oh,
have at
explain that.
least a partner in Tyler. I'd like to incorporate Caroline, but I feel like if Caroline doesn't get through that campaign before Mario, she's just lost. She's just lost to the world. I'm not even sure she's going to put down um, Stardew Valley.
Stardew.
Like we might hear her thoughts on Fire Emblem Warriors in like March.
Kyle in the chat wants to know, has mentioned the Metro UK review. I'm assuming they were talking about Fire Emblem. Did you happen to
I
see that
don't
one?
know. I don't think so. I also feel like I don't have the right chat up, so I'm going to go to YouTube because I didn't see anything in the chat. But no, I don't think I read that one. I did tweet one from, and I posted in our Discord, one review that I thought was really good. And it wasn't extremely favorable, but I liked the review. I loved the review because they just talked about the game. They didn't mention Zelda, Hyrule Warriors. They didn't do any of that. They just talked about the game, how the game runs, how the game lays out narratively, storyline, everything. It was just a review of this game. They gave it an 8. And I just found the review, and it had faults. And like I said, I mean, I don't know if you want to, I'll spoil it. The faults that I keep reading is that there's not like a whole lot of good villain motivation. Like you don't have a big villain that you're chasing the whole game. You don't have a whole lot of adversaries. So there's like kind of like this loop that you kind of do until the end of the game. And that sounds, I was really excited. The reason I was excited when Fire Emblem Warriors was announced is I thought that maybe they'd put together like this cool, crazy wicked story because, come on, it's a Dynasty Warriors game. It's going to have all these timelines. It's not going to make any sense, but you would think that the story would be good enough that people would go, man, that Fire Emblem is fun. Maybe I should check out the other Fire Emblems. That's what I was kind of hoping for. And it really seems like the story and narrative in this game is just kind of like a gloss over. It's like, it's fine. It's not, there's just nothing really to take away. And I find that to be a little disheartening, but like I said, I haven't played it yet. So
Kyle follows up that they gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, yeah. So I did read that one. Yes,
okay,
I'm sorry. I did read that one. I read I was like, no, I'm not reading the rest of it.
And then Josh comments that Game Explain review was good, and I watched Derek Bittner did the review on that. I thought that was I think he did a pretty good job with it.
I did the same.
Before our main topic tonight is our Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition micro console impressions. Before we get to that, there was I'd say fairly significant piece of news I think came out of nowhere that dropped yesterday was a new firmware update for the Nintendo Switch 4.0. Am I correct?
4.0.0.
4.0.0 is released, and the most significant feature that they included on this was now we have video sharing within.
Is that your big takeaway?
I guess
mine is the preloading of digital store purchases.
I definitely thought of you, and I'll get to that too. So we now have the ability, the Switch can record a 30-second clip of your gameplay for only 4 games at this time, all Nintendo first party: Zelda, Mario Kart 8, ARMS, and Splatoon 2. And I'm sure we're going to see other future games.
We'll get more.
Patch this feature in, but you just hold down the button and it instantly records the past 30 seconds of gameplay, and then you can go into your gallery and edit that and easily upload it to Facebook and Twitter. I heard the interesting thing is, so let's say if I recorded 30 seconds and then I waited like 10 seconds and I did it again, it would only record that 10 seconds period. They don't overlap.
Gotcha. Ooh, that is good to know.
There's that. But yes, I thought of you, Donnie, specifically when they also announced that we're going to have preloading the games, because I remember Splatoon 2 specifically.
Yep.
You're up till midnight. Let's go. Want to play it, and I can't download this.
Couldn't get in.
Just all these issues. So now I would have thought they almost would have it at the start, but I'm sure we may make some sacrifices at the point to hit that March release date. But now we have the Switch will have it's not all titles, right? It's still select.
Yeah, it is. It seems like they got this out real fast. They put it up for their own stuff, and it'll slowly roll out to the second, third party other games. It sounds like that's the case. The video recording. There's also rumors running rampant that it's going to be extended. Like there's some stuff there that you'll be able to go beyond 30 seconds, just not right now. So that was also pretty cool. I did see one thing not included in support notes. You can use headphones.
Yeah, so now the Switch will support USB wireless headphones, or I mean, I guess if you had a USB headphone too. I mean, you had that
You
option
can
as
plug
well.
into the dock, but to do it on the Switch, you need a USB to USB-C adapter.
Yeah, which is a little cumbersome, but at least that's nice. I mean, like, I think what the biggest example they give are like the PlayStation branded headphones. So I don't even have like this is my setup. I have a pair of what I have. I have Sennheiser headphones. These are going into a Logitech. I used to have like a Logitech like 5.0 surround sound speaker setup. The speakers are like in the corner of my basement gathering dust. So this goes into just the subwoofer because that's the power unit. So I just get like some amplification with the sound. But then my Switch is running. I run an aux cable from my Switch that goes into the line in of my PC. So all my Switch audio runs through my PC just so I can play with headphones, merely for the fact so I can have voice chat at the same time as game audio if I want it. Maybe now are we maybe slowly creeping towards a future where we might have, voice chat enabled through the system?
So my big takeaway was the fact that people found this out and it wasn't included to the notes. Well, the thing I wanted to ask you is, are we expecting Nintendo to drop a headset? Like a USB wireless headset for Switch? And
well,
maybe that's why they're not showing it yet.
Yeah, well, we've already had the Nintendo branded just headsets anyway. Like remember
the Splatoon spaghetti thing?
Well, even before that, when they first released the some peripherals for the console, they had the Nintendo branded headset that was for use for just your phone and stuff. But then but then we got the Splatoon squid dongle of wonderment and things like that. So I don't know. I'd have to think that maybe they're open to it because let's face it, they listened to a lot of the critique with the voice app, with the Nintendo Switch Online app, and they've made leaps and bounds improvements over that. I can only say if enough of the community is in their user base are vocal and saying this, and it doesn't inhibit the functionality of the Switch. I don't know what kind of, what that puts on the hardware to process and run something like that. I mean, this isn't a PlayStation. It's not a PS4 or an Xbox One where it has, a lot going that it can easily offload processes and things of that nature. So I don't know. Probably that, but I hate to see it come right out the gate and say, well, the Switch 2 is going to be able to do, and then I'll be like,
well, we're a long way from Switch 2. And we got questions on that, but I'm going to hold it. Last week when we were doing our big unveiling, we had a bunch of questions kind of like that, and we're just going to hold it for a little bit. Okay. But I am excited because I expect, I don't want to get too much into predictions, but I expect we have another Direct before January 1st, 2018. I think they'll give some springtime updates. I think it'll be maybe right before or after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think they got to have one before the holiday.
Yeah, I do too. And I think that it will include some UI, operating system, eShop adjustments. I'm not saying it's gonna be Virtual Console because right now I'm a little burned on those predictions, but I really think they're gonna come out with some like we've made some changes to the eShop and maybe here are themes or at least colors, and now you can like do your icons and put them in folders or smaller.
I would love to
things
have
or
the icon like
customizable icons.
Yes.
Anything like
I'd like to have something like the 3DS and just have the icons be able to move them around and group them
and that. Netflix. I am 100% standing firm that Netflix hits Switch before Christmas. I feel like that's a thing. Like that's going to happen.
Do you feel like, are we going to see any other bundles? Or do you think the Odyssey will be the big holiday bundle that they'll push out for
I don't think they'll do a Fire Emblem or a Xenoblade. I would love to see them do a Zelda bundle, but something that Zelda-fied the console. If they did that, I might double dip. Not even joking. Like if they came out like they did with the Wii U, if they came out with a Zelda framed, like some sort of thing, and maybe some Zelda Joy-Cons, maybe they go with the gold or something like
they did with the Wii U.
If they did something like that, I either might get another one or I might trade in.
And now thanks to the firmware update, you can switch your data.
Boom.
Kyle mentioned that he'd love the UI themes and eShop music. eShop music, yes, please. I love the eShop themes. I still listen to clearly you love the eShop themes because if you listen to the outro of our podcast.
I miss those little games that used to be able to play while the eShop loaded. Patrick Adams points out, and he's got all kinds of stuff that he tweeted us like 4 times just now. But he's saying, is it crazy to think that one day he'll be able to watch anime and play Nintendo Switch at the same time? I don't know if he actually means like on the Switch. That'd be insane, but I don't think you'll ever be able to do multi.
I think he means like the Donnie Reese Inception pick we saw the other day when you got the game on and then you're playing NBA 2K in your hands. He also said that he did test that while playing Splatoon 2 and while watching a specific anime, and that had to be disastrous because I don't know how you do that. You have powers of multitasking that I can't begin to comprehend, sir. Before we get into
our Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Mini Edition console discussion, Kevin, by the way, says that joke is going way too far.
This is the internet. Nothing is going too far.
What are you playing? You haven't had like a regular check-in in some time. I've been telling everybody what I'm playing. What have you been doing?
Well, after I finished Golf Story. Well, it's all in preparation of Odyssey. Okay, everything's in preparation, clearing my plate. So my next big game is Odyssey. So what I've done really well on Switch is I haven't backlogged. Like I pretty much play something until I feel I'm done with it and I move on. So Splatoon, the Splatfest kind of threw me off because last weekend I expected to play some other stuff, and I got into the Splatfest hard. I played because my wife was gone, and when my son was napping, I'm like, he took 2-hour naps every time, and I was like, yes!
We've got to get Destiny in your hands. It's eye-opening, man. You go from Splatoon to Destiny, and you're like, oh, man.
People have gone like, just get it on PC. It's going to be the better experience. I was like, ooh.
It's true.
That edition's coming, so
I feel like you have a dedicated group of people that'll be playing it too. I thought it came out already. I thought it just came out.
So did I, but I think it's this month.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely got to do that. But that Odyssey, I can't.
So I got back into Splatoon. I played. It was so funny because when I finally had a chance to play the Splatfest, nobody else that I knew that was on the same team with me was playing, and I think that's the most asinine thing about the Splatfest is you have to have 4 people to group up. You can't just jump in with a group of 2 of you, and it was just frustrating. But then I played that, and then Bobby had his Nintendo Talk Lives, and I was watching that. He had Garrett and he had John from the Megadad, so they did a back-to-back, which is cool. And then I jumped in with him and a few other people, and then we did do some grouping late at the night.
That's
and then,
the fun part.
Yeah, so that was fun. But after that, I had finished Golf Story right before our last show, and now I'm trying to just get through Kingdom Battle because I had kicked that to the side for a while. And because I got through World 3 and I was doing the World 3 challenges. For whatever reason, I just had the worst time actually finding the World 3 challenges. So I really threw some time behind that. Like some hockey was on, and I played through that, and I finally got to that. So I'm at today. I got past the mid boss in World 4. So I think I'm at part like chapter 7 inside of World 4. So I'm trying to finish that, and then I was told by many if I should try to squeeze in Thimbleweed Park as well. I even got the official. Yes, well, Kevin,
lots of people. I know people. Yes. Lots of people.
I know lots of people. Everyone. Nobody plays Thimbleweed Park like me. Okay. But even Thimbleweed Park, their Twitter handle themselves said yes, I should play it. So I mean, you can't argue when the game itself tweets at you, can you? I mean.
I just don't think that game's for me. I'm staying like that whole that'd be one of those things, right? I wouldn't review that game because at face glance, I'm like, yeah. Like that's not really my style,
right?
So, yeah.
So I'm ready to jump into Odyssey. Unfortunately, Stranger Things Season 2, I should say, also releases that, and I think that's going to pull my attention a little bit because it's something I can enjoy with the family. Otherwise, yeah, I'll probably, play Splatoon 2 still just to break things up. I've kind of been interested, like Lucas and I have jumped into some old PC games, and I have the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the rest. I should play some more on that, which I haven't. And I got the Xbox fired up. I downloaded the update so I can actually stand to look at it because
it's really
from 360 to that. I mean, I can't. I know there's a lot of Xbox fans in this out there, but that thing was atrocious. I mean, I could not. I'd rather have the blades back from 360. The blades are better than that.
Terrible UI, but that is not for this show. Let's derail that train. This isn't the Xbox Shack. This is the Nintendo Shack. But no, I trust me. I've been saying that for years and taking Nathan's side glances because of that for some time. So yeah, that's good stuff, man. I can't wait for Mario either. Like I have this weekend opportunity to really get a chunk of Fire Emblem, so I can be there with you guys in Mario Day 1 too. Like I want to try it, but it's so much. I think I'm the only one committed to playing them both. You know, like everybody's like, I'm doing Mario and then I'll get a Fire Emblem. No, we gotta do them both right now.
I haven't had a Mario game at like start since no, I haven't since freaking boy, why is the name eluding me on GameCube?
Galaxy? Oh, Sunshine.
Sunshine was the last Mario game I got like right when it came out because I didn't have a Wii, and then I jumped in on the Wii U so late. 3D World already had been run its course for a bit, so it's fun to be like jumping fresh with this. And you have to avoid social media because now we got the picture sharing, we're into the video sharing, which has been confirmed for Odyssey as well. And spoilers are going to be flying across the internet. And I don't know. I'm worried about how big this game is and how much. I mean, I got through Zelda, so but I feel like how many the moons are hidden everywhere, and I'm going to try to find them, and it's just going to be like.
I've never been the collect all gamer, so that doesn't really bother me. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'll catch them as they come around, but I'm not going to be like, I'm going to. That's like the Kurok. Like, I'm not doing that. That's.
I'm going to have Vacation Mario all the time, rocking the dad bod.
There you go. You ready? Oh, so back to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Mini Edition console. I think, just to take a little sidebar, I think I've discovered the issue. I was thinking about it today because last night I recorded a PSVG podcast with Kevin, and Kevin was like, "You've taken this too far." He's like, first you said, and he says that I say SNES, like there's an I.
SNES?
Yeah, and I'm like, I've never said that. I say SNES. So then he said, you say SNES, and then he started comparing it to like Xbox, and then Tyler and I were like, well, you don't say XBOX. He's like, but you do say PS4, and I said, and I was like, so why is that? And I think I've got the solution. You spell out the letters when it's less than 4, but you try to acronym and abbreviate when it's more than 4. Right? You say NES. NES.
Right.
Right. But you say SNES. And you say Xbox, or like you wouldn't go XBOX, but you do say PS4.
Right.
So I don't know. That was my theory.
I say Ouya. Ouya. That's a good console.
But with all of that out of the way, the question that I have to you is, have you been playing yours?
Not as much as I would like to, just because I haven't had. My gaming is very sporadic. Like I get most of my gaming gets done when I have downtime at work, which is why I play the Switch so much. I don't get a lot of moments where I can sit down in front of a TV and I have like 45 minutes of uninterrupted game time. When I do, usually 10 minutes into it, my son wakes up and I'm like, oh, okay, nap time's over. Time to be a dad again. So that's why my Xbox has been dormant so much because, well, I haven't activated a trial for it because I never know when I'm going to have time to throw at it. So it's like, that's different. The Xbox is a different subject, different podcast, but so it's difficult for me to get in front of the TV, but I have gotten some time with it. I was actually playing it right before the show.
Nice.
I haven't gotten as much as I'd like, but at least I've toyed with it and I've got it hooked up. Unlike, at least it's out of the box. Unlike other
some people,
staff member I know about. So, I have to say, like, it was just like taking the box out, just holding the box in my hands, knowing I had it, and then just the unpacking process was fun. And I remember as soon as I took a picture, I like tweeted out like, I'm a cool kid now. And it's like immediately, I got a bunch of interaction. Once one of my friends was like, who is your dealer? And I was like, well, actually it's play Nintendo.
Hey,
I was like, actually, yeah, I did have a dealer. So again, thank you so much, Donnie, for hooking me up, because Donnie managed not to get just one. He got 3.
Could add 4. I turned one down. I could add 4.
Now, I did see someone posted on the local Reddit for my city that I think like all the Targets in my area got like 15.
Wow.
in each store. Like that was this week. I don't know if that's what I heard. I don't know what there's any truth.
I haven't been seeing anything on our Twitter, and we follow thousands of people. I haven't seen anything from anybody going, I still want one. like everybody seems to be either be getting them or feels confident that they can. Like all of that conversation has died down. So
like I saw someone on Discord that his mom, I don't know how many states apart they live now. She was able to, they had them in stock at the GameStop where in the town he's from. So he had his mom go and pick it up, and then she was mailing it to him because there were just never any available.
Wow.
Around him. Like he would go, I think he was using like the now in stock alerts or something similar to that. And they'd say, they'd have a stock of it and then nothing. But I have to say, I just love the way it looks. It's a great little piece to be sitting on my meager entertainment stand with my Xbox and my Darth Vader head and other items. But it just looks cool. I love that feeling of that classic controller in your hand again. I am disappointed with the cable length. I know it's better than the NES Classic, but
how far away are you sitting from your TV in most cases?
I am I'm about 8 feet from it, 7 feet from it. Okay. So I can sit in my chair, but I have to scoot all the way forward and get it just so like that last little part of the
first world problems. Poor Jason.
Yeah, So if I had a USB extender for the power cable, I think I can make it reach, but realistically, I could just move the recliner closer.
My setup, my couch it's less than the cord. Like my couch is that close to my TV in my game down here in my gaming area. It's like right there. I've taken pictures of it before. I can take another one if anybody cares to see. It's not that far, so we have no problems with the link. The link actually is perfect. We can sit on the couch comfortably and play. Yeah. Did you deploy the hack?
I haven't yet, and I'm torn. I am torn on that because in my younger days,
are you a freedom fighter? You don't believe in it?
Jason was not afraid of authority. He was not afraid to sail the 7 seas of the interweb and acquire any software he needed. Oh, this new game came out on PC? I own it. Not always because of me, but I'd say I had a lot of friends in my LAN party days that would obtain software right away. So you'd go to the LAN party that next weekend, and you'd have like 6 new games on PC that were just released and cracked and all that stuff. So, and I've had numerous ROMs over the years that I've played on my PC. So that's part of it. I'm like, well, because I know it's a gray area and this and that. I don't know. Like right now, I like the vanilla experience that it offers, but I'm sure at some point, just yesterday, I was recording Flexibo, so we had a listener suggest No Siri Mix, and it was from Chrono Trigger, and we were talking about Chrono Trigger, and all we could think of was all of a sudden it's like, oh, I kind of want to play Chrono Trigger. It's like, too bad Chrono Trigger's not on that system. And then all of a sudden, Lucas sends me a picture today. He's playing Chrono Trigger on his TV.
So when it comes to that, and not to turn this into that type of debate, but when it comes to that scenario or that gray area, my wife's bothering me. She's like right over the camera right now, and she's making funny faces. When it comes to that scenario, here's how. One, I don't care. Like I really don't. You're not gonna find I find no shame. I sleep perfectly fine at night. I've got amiibo cards. Don't care. I don't think they're losing any amount of money from me. Lord knows I throw plenty of money at Nintendo. True. So I find I've no sympathy for me, especially because the ROMs that I'm getting aren't available anywhere else. You got to go and acquire an old console and batteries and everything that works. And no, I'm not doing that. Nope, I will download the file and play it because you're not going to remake it and you're not going to make it available for me to play it. So I will go and find my own means. So in that scenario, it didn't bother me at all. Not to mention most of the things I've bought 10, 12 times over. So it's like, it's one of those things where you get the purist and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing it. It's illegal. And it's like, how about them charging me 18 times for the same game? That's not
how many copies of Super Mario World have you purchased?
Oh, man, all of them. I've purchased. If it's ever been available, I've bought it. And we'll buy it again. And openly will say that. I own it now on the SNES or the Super Nintendo. We'll totally buy it when it comes to Switch. Totally. Like just to have it. Like just to have it on the Switch. I bought it on 3DS. Played the whole thing. And I will buy it again. Because I like having, I mean, it's like $7. And people whine and they go, it's $7. Come on. Right. $7. So I did deploy the Hack Chi 2 hack.
As easy as the NES?
It is just as easy. Well, let me come back to that. I had alerts set up on YouTube for that thing. Like as soon as it was live, I knew it. It was a little not hard. Hard is not the right word. I did run into a little like language verbalese in the instructions that I got because I have the European model.
Oh.
And you do have to change the settings. So there is that. I had to do some of that.
Okay.
But outside of that, no, exactly is easy. Like you set up your ROMs, you get your artwork and all that, and you flash it, and that's it. Piece of cake. It really makes it a lot easier to handle that short cord when you can go back to the menu without having to hit that reset button. So, like, I mean, I think that's why the cords are short. I mean, that's the justification is they want you to feel nostalgic and click that reset button just like you used to have to. But it's so much better. I hit select and down, and just like, there you go. I'm back in, and then
it's so yeah. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, I got to get up, but then I don't know. There is something about the nostalgic when you're like, oh, got to reset. You know,
no, it's not worth it. There's something nostalgic about it, but it gets old after about the first day you do it.
I might splurge and just snag when it's available. One of like 8BitDo has one of the they have a wireless controller they're making, or that right now they sell a dongle right now that's compatible with virtually every controller out there. So I might just go that route too, just so I can be comfortable. But
those extension cables are like super cheap. You can buy one for like $2 and they're like 20 feet.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I'll just do that then too. So
that's what I did with the NES. I just bought the extension cables. They were super cheap. I think they were like $4 a piece. I bought 2 of them. There was like $8, and they were so long that I hated wrapping them up. I was like, oh god, it became a problem the other way. It was like, this is way too long.
If I had to make a qualm about it, it would be that you have to flip down the front to
it's a little weird. Yeah,
it just looks weird because like you're so used to that iconic shape, and this just makes it like, what is this, a transformer? What am I doing here?
It feels cheap. This little flap, little plastic flap. I would have rather just let me plug a
coming from the guy that didn't even own a Super Nintendo. Now I'm talking about, but I had a buddy that did, and I would go over to his house all the time, and we'd rent games, and I watched him play games. So I mean, I was familiar with it. But
did you check out all the UI stuff and the menus and the borders?
That's every time I get in, I'm so eager to play something. I haven't bothered. I don't even know like what mode I'm in. Is it in Perfect Pixel by default, or is it in?
No.
Oh god,
4x3 by default.
I need to change that then.
I that was the first thing I did was that. Okay. I really, me, I love themes, right? And I'm all about my wallpapers, and all of my computers and phones are all set up. I absolutely love this little console because it has like themes baked into it, and some of them change.
Here's the only theme you need to know if you want to talk wallpapers. Oh, you probably can't see it.
I can't see anything you're doing.
I can't see it because I gotta let my phone time out again.
This is fantastic podcasting.
Yeah.
There are themes in the Super Nintendo that change colors based on the game that you're playing. So if you do the perfect pixel, right, you've got edges. You've got these borders on right and left side. There's like themes that'll either have designs that move, or like I'm doing like the aura. There's like this aura, like this colored aura that goes around it. And it changes colors to match the game you're playing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate and how much like that makes the experience better, because I'm not noticing the 2 feet of black bar on each side.
Yeah. I need to do that then.
So much better. So much better. I have a story to tell about my hack. Would you like me to tell the story before we talk about the games that come on it, or not? Or wait until after?
Let's just do it.
All right.
You got everyone eager. They're like, "Oh, a story."
I have a story.
Like stories.
So I'm a huge Ohio State fan. I'm a huge sports video game fan. The game that we played most on the NES Mini was an NCAA fan-made hack of Tecmo Bowl. So my son loved being able to play. He likes the colleges. He doesn't really understand like the difference between pros and college. He knows that his dad likes the Buckeyes. He likes the Buckeyes. He hates Michigan. Like that's what he knows. That's his thing for football. And we used to play together. So I would play. He'd pick a team. I'd pick a team. We'd play against each other, and he'd always lose. And he's got that. I'm gonna get you one day.
That's right.
When we got the new one, he was really upset. Like day one, we pulled it out. He's like, "Where's the football game?" And I'm like, "Well," I'd explained to him. I was like, "Well, that wasn't really a game. Like we had to go find that game, and I'll do it again." And then I realized that the SNES, you cannot put like NES games. Like they don't read out of the box. You're gonna have to put like some. If you want to do that, I'm not trying to do all that. Like the ROM has to be a Super Nintendo ROM. and there are no Tecmo NCAA games for Super Nintendo. There are some college football games. They are awful. Trust me, I tried them. They're terrible. You get like I even forget what they're called, like college football, and then like they're bad. Don't even try. They're terrible. So my son agreed with me. He tried to play me. He was like, "Oh, this is not Tecmo Bowl." I mean, because you got to realize Tecmo Bowl is a great football formula, right? Everybody loves Tecmo Bowl, and I love Super Tecmo Bowl. So I wanted to find an NCAA ROM for Tecmo Super Bowl. Have you ever dived into Tecmo Super Bowl? Like, have you ever?
Oh yeah.
There is a whole website dedicated to people that make their own Tecmo games, like that hack these games, and it's called tecmobowl.org.
Okay.
So I'm combing through all their forums, and it's deep. I'm telling you, dude. I'm going to forums that are written like 2011. I'm telling you, this process, all in all, took me like 3 days. So when I tell you this story, this wasn't like 30 minutes. This took time. I'm combing through it. I'm like, guys, I've got to find an NCAA ROM, and they're all for the NES. They're all NES ROMs of Tecmo Bowl. And I was like, and so I keep looking, I do some Twitter searches. I find that the tecmobowl.org group has a Discord server that I join. And in the Discord server, after combing the website, combing their download section, combing their folders, combing their forums, finding them on Twitter, getting to Discord, I am really shortening this. I'm telling you, there's a lot of time into this. I can't reiterate that enough. I get into their help section, I explain my plight, and I go, guys, I don't know what to do. I can only run SNES ROMs. And I was like, I understand nobody cares. I was like, but my son loves college football. We just want a college football game that'll run on this console when I hack it. Can anybody help me? And for like 2 days, I just got replies like, nope, nobody's done it. And then one person comes back and they go, yeah, I did this in 2015. Here you go. Doesn't work. I put it on there. It doesn't work. And I was like, oh. And then after 3 days of waiting, basically giving up, to the point I was almost like, I'm going to leave this Discord server now, because they're asking me, they're tweeting at me directly like, hey, do you want to play Tecmo Bowl online through like some ROM? I was like, no, I don't want to do any of that. And then somebody finally tweets me and goes, hey, I've had this ROM for a long time. Somebody made it back in like 2001. There's NCAA football 2001 ROM hack for Super Tecmo Bowl with all of the Super Tecmo Bowl graphics. They redid all of the cutscenes. The scoreboard says ESPN across it.
Oh, wow.
It's fantastic. All of the rosters are done. I streamed it.
I was going through your streams, or I caught it the one day and I saw you were playing. I was like, oh, he's playing some football game, but I wasn't really paying attention. And I was like, wait a sec,
And then you see Steve Bellisari from the Ohio State Buckeyes throwing touchdowns. It is perfect. The roster could be better. Like you can only do Tecmos. There's only 30 teams. So there's definitely some colleges that are missing, but the big ones are there. And except for Georgia, that's something my son noticed. All the big ones are there except for Georgia. For some reason they left them off. But I have this ROM. And the one thing that I wanted to let our listeners know is if you are also interested in deploying the HackG ROM hack and you love college football like me and it's something you'd like to preserve, come join our Discord and I will totally give you that ROM. I have it on my computer and I just send it to you there. Or like tweet at me on Twitter. I don't know if I can load it to Twitter. I'm not sure what they can do in terms of attachments, but definitely Discord, because that's how I got it. I will make this available to anybody that needs it. So you don't have to go through all the hoops that I had to go through to make it work. But I'm super happy to report that I do have an NCAA football game for my son and me to play, and we have been playing it predominantly on the Super Nintendo, and it's been just fantastic.
Awesome.
So that's my one big story. Mission accomplished.
Hey, well, there you go. What was the first game you played?
Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island.
So
I thought about that because I never played it. So
you've never? Oh
yeah.
I felt so vindicated when Kevin made fun of me for saying that on PSVG podcast. Remember, because we talked about it. Like, what's the first game? I said Yoshi's Island. He's like, come on, Yoshi's Island. So I tweeted it out. What's the first game you're going to play? And we got like 20 replies, and literally 17 of them were Yoshi's Island. Like everyone.
The first game I played was F-Zero. So
oh, really? I would have totally guessed Star Fox.
Yeah, well, that's actually what I was playing just now, and man. That game runs like man. Garbo. I mean, the frame, like it just. I don't remember. Like one of my fondest memories of Star Fox was when I didn't have a Super Nintendo. We were three of my other buddies, or two of my other buddies we're all staying at my one friend's house after school. We were like in 3rd or 4th grade, so elementary school. We're renting a Super Nintendo. No, my buddy was bringing over a Super Nintendo. We were renting a bunch of games. We are going to stay at my buddy's house, stay up all night, drinking Mountain Dew and playing video games. And Star Fox is one of the games we got. We're like, this is amazing. FX chip. Oh my God.
Really?
We were the Nintendo 64 kids. So, and I always had fond memories of it. And I've never played it too much because like Star Fox 64 is my baby. That's
the one.
Yeah. So that's why I still probably always keep my 3DS so I can bust out, Star Fox 64 3D. But man, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, like especially the levels with like a lot of explosions or a lot of stars going on. It's just muddy.
4 frames a second.
Yeah. So my Star Fox 2. Well, here's the thing. I thought you had to like beat the game to unlock Star Fox 2. Apparently not. Level. Okay, you just had to beat the first level. Okay. So I will jump into that just because I have played the ROM and I do want to see what half-assed finish is for it. But
I won't, by the way. I booted up Star Fox just because of you and Nathan and Kevin. I was like, all right, let's see it. I played maybe 10. I was like, nope. nope. Most Super Nintendo games really hold up. That one doesn't. That is one that does not hold up well at all. I can't recommend it at all.
What would you rather play, Star Fox or Star Fox Zero?
That's the sad part. That's a real question. No, I played Yoshi's Island. I also played Super Castlevania, which is great. 'Tis the Season. Oh, game is so good. I love that game. And Super Mario World, and we played some Mario Kart. I mean, we really just kind of like jumped through it. The one that I'm excited about, going back to my hack, is that we deployed some games, and I got my daughter addicted to Bust-A-Move. I started pulling out the Bust-A-Move, and my wife was like, "What is this, Peggle?" And I was like, "This is the original Peggle." And then they started playing,
Bust-A-Move.
and then my wife put up a score, and then my daughter put up a score. My daughter is very competitive, like her dad, so she's like, "Booyah!" which makes my wife upset. So then she's putting up a score, and all of a sudden, my son and I are sitting here. We were playing football, and we just lost the console for like an hour because they're going back and forth on Bust-A-Move. I found a translated version of Clock Tower, which was one of my favorite horror games. It's terrible. It's great. It says English, and I tried to play it for like 30. I quit. I was like, no, I can't play this. It's so slow. It's so bad. But it's cool that it's there. Some of the other games that I pulled down, all the wrestling games. I pulled down Madden's, Troy Aikman's football.
To get was
Batman, Beavis and Butthead.
Was it a Final Fight? Is that the beat 'em up that was on something?
Yep. I got Final Fight. Just all Aladdin. I mean, I got like just kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Chrono Trigger. Like I didn't grab. I didn't go and. Some people are putting like 4. They're putting every ROM they can possibly find. I don't want to. I did that with my NES. I downloaded like that giant folder that. And I was like, I hated having to store it there. I was like, I don't want to do that. So I like pick and chose. I think I only added like 20 games to it, and like that was good enough for me. I was like, these are the ones that I really would actually
40 on there. You know what you should get is a good game. Get Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Didn't get either one of those.
Oh no, it's the combined game. The title is Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Oh, okay.
We used to play that like at my buddy's house. We'd always play Super Mario World, and we play that. And
that doesn't sound good for me. You just told me you guys just sit around and play Star Fox.
Well, that was my one nostalgia story. I had another friend that we'd always go over and we'd play. This is my buddies. We'd play Smash and Conker's Bad Fur Day and like some other games all the time. Oh, Smash, Mario Party, but then they had a Super Nintendo always hooked up, and we'd play Battletoads and Double Dragon. So you wouldn't think the combination of Billy and Jimmy Lee plus Rash, Zitz, and Pimple would be good. But you would be wrong, my friend.
I will definitely give that a try.
It's cool. It's a really cool mashup. So I recommend it. F-Zero, I just have never played F-Zero, and clearly as if you're in the Nintendo sphere that we are, everyone's like, oh, F-Zero, and man, that's definitely just a launch game. I mean, there's nothing there, It was fun, but I mean, that's face it. That game was around for one thing only, to show what do they even call that? Mode 7, right? Is that what
Isn't that what all racing games are around for? Just to show off the nifty
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. No, I get it.
I mean, if you could play a racing game on Super Nintendo, are you going to play that or are you going to play Mario Kart?
Play Mario
Probably
Kart.
going to play Mario Kart.
Play Mario Kart.
Especially since
Mario Kart's hard to go back to too.
Yeah, it is.
It's interesting. I still enjoy it, but it's like that whole you don't drive the car, you drive the track.
Yeah.
The car stays centered and you
I'm still excited about it. If they gave me multiplayer on the Switch with that whole system, I would be like,
that'd be a disaster.
It'd be a disaster, but I just think it'll be fun. Just
it would be fun.
It's something about those classic tracks and that classic soundtrack, That's what does me in.
I did the Batman games, which is interesting because you have the one that's like real. It's basically like they're using the Mortal Kombat engine to do Batman.
Oh no, Batman Forever.
Yeah, and then but the better one is the animated.
Bad memories of that one.
Really,
yes, that one's good. That one's good.
My son totally got way into that. He was like, "This is awesome!" So he's going around throwing batarangs at folks when it's hard. So like it's a cool platformer.
My brothers and I, we played both of them growing up. So
nice.
What I think Secret of Mana will probably be my.
I've never played that game.
I think that'll be the next one I jump into, just because it's that and probably Final Fantasy 3, just so with the whole being able to suspend it, and like my buddy had Final Fantasy, and I watched him play it a bit. I just never quite experienced it, so I it's gonna be tough because me and RPGs, it's a time commitment, but at least you got suspend points.
Did you know that the Super Nintendo Classic has a rewind feature?
I saw that when I was after I just saved my suspend. I saw they had a rewind. How does that lets you go back so many?
So yes, that's how it works. We got some questions after I did my first stream because people are like, I can't figure it out. So what you have to do, and again, if you deploy the Hack, really makes it a lot easier. What you have to do is you play the game, start the game, you then hit the reset button, or if you have the hack sheet, you do the home menu combo. You have to go back to the home menu, then save the file, right? Make your save, and then you can rewind it from there. But you have to save it first. So it's not like in game. You can't like hold the triggers down and it rewinds.
Okay.
But it's pretty good. I think you rewind like, I don't know, felt like a minute or two. Like you could definitely go back. I did it to capture some of my Tecmo Bowl runs on my son as he cried. I'd like record it and like I'd like pull my phone out and like, let's watch it again.
It's as you do all classic moments, like when you're on vacation up at the cabin there and you were playing, what was it, Pokemon cards, I think, and then you had a picture. No, you guys were playing poker.
Were playing blackjack.
And and you had that up close shot of him all defeated, and you're like, yeah, Dad wins.
That's it. Rub it in because there will be a day where you don't win anymore. Like that's the way it goes. So you better get it in while you can. So yeah, that's a cool feature. It's a really cool little console. I'm really excited. My brother-in-law put out his Christmas wish list, and on there was the 8BitDo Super NES controller. So I was like, well, little does he know, he has one of those retro pies, like those things. So I'm hoping that this I'd be really upset though if like I give it to them and he's like, I don't want this, I've got the other thing. But I don't think that'll be the case because it's not for him, it's really for his kids. So
there was, let me, if I can find it quick enough. So I was, I shared those 8BitDo Super NES controllers that they're actually the wireless controllers they're making for the actual system, and then someone tweeted at Cal and I about it, and it's another similar to like the one of those retro boxes that plays all games, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it here quick enough, but unfortunately it was a slick design. It was compatible with those controllers, and then it was I think this one might have been Super Nintendo only. I'm not sure if it played everything, but HDMI compatible, all these things, and it just like the design that they put into just this box itself was just awesome. So here we go. It is a if the page will load. Analog.co is the name of this website, but it's called their Super NT. So it looks like it's just a box that plays Super Nintendo. I can't visually, I'd say the buttons look similar to like the Famicom. How they have the way the layout is, but they've got a couple different color schemes with it. 16-bit 1080p, and it just looks awesome. They have like a solid they have a solid black console, a clear see-through, and then one that looks like the Super Nintendo color scheme, one that looks like the Famicom color scheme, and it's just, man, if I had like a library of Super Nintendo cards sitting around, I'd be like, I want this. But that's why I never got like what's the popular one that plays like everything? It plays the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis.
Retrocon. Is that what it's called? I don't think that's right.
Retron 5.
Retron. There you go. Yes.
Like I always thought I'd get one of those, but then I was like, well, I don't really have a lot of cartridges. I mean, I still have a Sega Genesis, so why would I get something else to play my Sega Genesis games? I guess for playing on a TV. I guess that's the one.
The other games that I put on there, as we wrap up here, I want to put this out there in case somebody has one that I don't have, because I'm youngin', 30. I was born in 1987, and I was 5, right? Like so, like right. I may have missed some stuff. But like I said, I grabbed Batman's. I grabbed
Jim.
Beavis and Butthead. I grabbed Bill Walsh's College Football, Chrono Trigger, College Slam, which is NBA Jam with college teams.
They had that for the 16-bit generation.
It's so good too. It's really good. My son loves NBA Jam though. He's really good at it.
I say, did you get NBA Jam on there as well?
Yes, and I played him our first game, and I don't know what team he picked or what guy, but he was throwing everything in from like his paint. So he'd pass the ball and turn around, and it would go in every single. I was like, "What cheat did you do? How is this working?"
You should get Tournament Edition.
I got both.
Oh, yeah, both. Okay.
I got both. Doom and Wolfenstein. I got both of those.
Yeah, I forgot those came. Yeah.
Those are hard to play. I'd say those are also hard to go back to. I got Mecha Robot Golf. I got Jack Nicklaus's Golf. I got the Mortal Kombats. I got Pac-Man. I got the NHL games. I got my NCAA Tecmo. I got the Star Wars. I got all the Tecmo games. I got Tecmo.
The Star Wars games.
Baseball and Tecmo basketball. I got Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and Super Bomberman. And Super Bomberman's great. Super Bomberman, honestly, Super Bomberman might be just best back on like either 64 or Super Nintendo.
That was good.
Old ones are really good. And X-Men. I got the X-Men.
X-Men, okay. You got to get Earthworm Jim. That's probably my favorite platformer of all time. That was like that's probably my most. I
remember playing that one.
Besides Sonic, that's probably my most played game in that generation was Earthworm Jim. I watched the cartoon. I had the action figure. I loved Earthworm Jim. I mean, good stuff.
I will put that one on there too. Because anything that like and SimCity, I grabbed SimCity.
I guess you can get the sequel too. I don't know how well that holds up though.
Anything that like my kids would be into, like, because that's really what it's aimed for. I mean, outside of me throwing down some basketball and some football, I'm not going to go back and in all honesty, I'm not going to play Chrono Trigger.
Well, you've got Destiny to play.
I've got Destiny to play. I've got Fire Emblem to play. I've got other things to play.
You got other stuff coming on, but
it's so good to go back to that controller.
Yeah. It just feels. It took me a minute to get used to the shoulder buttons again. Like mine feel like trying to do the barrel roll on Star Fox was. I felt like they were sticking a little bit, and I think it's just new controller. You got to break it in a little bit, but yeah, it's just funny how it. Even I didn't even own one, and it just feels right. Like the Genesis controller is kind of bulky, and kind of weird, but this just feels good. It makes me want to get the 8-bit dough for the Switch, so I can play the. If we ever get virtual console games, but I think Shovel Knight would be fun to be played that way, especially they got the buttons on there. I got my home, I got my share button.
I don't know if I'll ever go there. I got 2 Pro controllers. I feel like it's all the controller I need, but maybe it can't be Bobby buying every controller. Didn't you say he bought another controller? He's buying how many controllers? Do you have like 9 controllers? I mean,
he's got a lot.
Yeah, so I can't.
He's got his fancy custom colored one, and then I think he got something else.
Yeah, he got the fancy color one, and he got one of didn't he get one of the branded ones, and then he got one of the 8-bit dues, I think. He's just controller happy. I don't know. We're about the 60-minute mark.
Yeah, so. We're about there. So we don't want to, as always, we try to keep these a little shorter than standard, so we are running short on time. If you ever, we don't have a specific Twitter for this account, so if you ever have questions for the show, just tweet at myself or Donnie or PSVG. We'll make sure they get over here. We'll tackle your questions. Join us on the live chat. You can come in when we stream at youtube.com/playsomevideogames. Hang out in the chat. We'll have a good time. Ask us, throw us some curveballs live. Donnie, if people don't already know, how can they connect with you on the World Wide Web?
Well, if you're watching this video on YouTube, it's very simple. You can go right here at Playin' Nintendo. It's playing Nintendo without the G. Play in Nintendo.
That is very easy. It's slang. You're hip. You're hip.
Playing
you're down with
Nintendo.
times.
You know why it's that way?
Playing.
Somebody's already done playing. So Play Nintendo is a great Twitter handle.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic one.
I tried to get Twitter to give me Flexay, but they said no.
They stopped doing that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, somebody that hasn't tweeted in 5 years is sitting on it.
Still sitting on it.
I guess actually having my real name incorporated at JW Lacy, if you're so inclined, is good.
I'm so excited, Jason. The next 2 weeks, the next 3 or 4 weeks, man, we've got Fire Emblem to talk about. We've got Odyssey to talk about.
Yep.
We've got whatever else comes out between now and then, because it seems like every week there's an indie game dropping somewhere on Switch.
So real quick before we go, next show to alert the listeners to what do we think? It'll be next week. So we won't really have a chance to really talk about the new games out just yet. So we'll think of some topic. We'll tweet about it. We'll come up with something.
I've got one, because this is one that's being asking. Best or favorite Mario game?
Ooh, okay.
In honor of Odyssey's impending, because it'll be on. It'll be the day. If we record next Thursday, it'll be the day before Odyssey drops. Like, let's talk about let's rank them even better. Best Mario games.
Just the platforming.
Just
like we're not gonna go like Mario RPG. Okay.
No,
what about
Mario?
What about what about Mario Maker? Does that
Mario Maker counts?
Okay.
It's a platformer. Mario Maker counts.
Okay.
Because I heard some other folks talking about that, and I tweeted about it, and then some folks started asking me about it, and then Tyler brought it up, or I was like, we were talking about it. We kind of talked about it on PSVG, and I think it's a good little topic to have. So maybe we can do like some Fire Emblem impressions, and then maybe get into here's our favorite. Take a little nostalgia trip before Odyssey comes back, and then obviously we got to have the Odyssey extravaganza. I don't know, bring Caroline, bring Kevin. We got to bring people in,
and
just do 60 minutes of why we love Odyssey, because I feel like we're gonna love it. Special game on the way.
Yeah.
So bask in it.
Bask in its glory. All right. Well, there you have it. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please feel free to check out PlayStationVideoGames.com and the numerous, many other podcasts we're throwing out there on a weekly basis. Check them out. We would love to hear from you. And as always, boys and girls, never stop gaming.